You know what's crazy? This is gonna sound crazy. Not giving a fuck. I always feel like I'm the shit, even when people think I'm garbage, trash, dog, dirty, fucking, he's disgusting. Nobody could never convince me that I'm not the shit.
Welcome to Rare Nomads,
Rare Nomads,
the most irreverent and thought-provoking podcast that gives you a look into the lives and the minds of our culture's most interesting and inspirational people.
I'm Jim's World, and that's my co-host.
Rap is a martial art. Rapper and martial artist, man. Today, we are excited, man. We're super excited. We got the legend himself, Peter Gunz. Yo, Peter,
Yeah.
I just want to say, you the freshest yet. You the freshest yet to show up. I was like, he popped up on a joint. I was like, dang. I said, he needs to give Core some of that flyness, man. Core, some of that didn't get passed down.
Yo, Core is his own, Corey be his own thing. People be like, yo, you know, when I tell stories about Corey, they be like, yo, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. And I'm like, nah, we nothing alike.
Like, right.
We both rap, you know what I mean? But me and Corey are opposite. I'm loud, he's an introvert.
Yeah.
He like the, like, you know, the skateboards and the, you know,
Right.
only thing we have in common really is music.
Right.
Right.
I wanna
And the
say-
name.
Yeah.
And the name. Yeah, he ain't as reckless as his old man.
Yeah, I
No.
got to collab with your son a couple times, man. One of my favorite artists for sure. One of my favorite people too, man. So it's an honor to sit with you, man. So
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that, man.
We go in the
that's-
minds where nobody else go. It's a Rare Nomad show.
Yeah. That's why he called out the atheism from the beginning. Like, yo, we just gonna be
Yeah, I'm an
philosophical.
innocent, man. Anything about me, you know, from doing TV or music, I'm with all the smoke.
Yeah.
I stay in the smoking section.
Right.
See?
Right.
I love the smoking section.
Yeah.
All right. So starting off, where'd you grow up at?
174th Street, Vice Avenue. Grew up in the South Bronx when it was pretty bad. People, you know, it was like third world country, but I didn't know it because I had older brothers and sisters that protected me from knowing how bad things were, you know? So it was beautiful to me. But, you know, when I look back in hindsight, when I look at old pictures with my older sisters, your mom showed me pictures and stuff, I'd be like, damn, we had it bad. But it didn't feel that way, man. It felt beautiful.
That's beautiful. I'm originally from Haiti. So when you said third world country, you know what I'm saying? I just thought of home, and it's crazy how family and people around you can kind of guard you from that. What would you say is the most, if you had to think back, like one of the most defining, you've seen a lot, right? You've been through a lot, you've seen a lot, you've been, you know, the show is called Rare Nomads. So we're interviewing people who have traveled through different spots, different roles in their life. They've seen a whole lot. So what was one of the things that was most defining, you think, like growing up, like something that you saw and experienced that you like, yo, that imprinted me forever, good or bad?
Well, I mean, good would be seeing the Cold Crush Brothers rap.
Mm.
When the Cold Crush Brothers came in, they was local dudes from the hood. Easy AD lived across the street from me. Grand Kaz was my idol. He was just, and these wasn't record deals. These wasn't nothing. These was just little tapes floating around. They doing jams at the Boys Club and Stevenson High School, different places. And I was, you know, maybe 10 years younger than these guys or 8 years, whatever. But they were superstars in my eyes, and that changed my life. Other than that, man, this is gonna sound crazy for a kid from the South Bronx, but I saw Prince when I was maybe 11 years old, play several different instruments. And he was playing drums, guitar, and keyboards, and I was in a basement, and I wanted a drum set, and I wanted to play, and I wanted to be like this kid that could write and play all his own music. So believe it or not, Prince came on Channel 13 when I was a kid, and I wanted to produce and play music. But when the Cold Crush came, I put the instruments down. I wanted to rap. So it was like those was influential things, man. Bad things would be, again, you know, just just watching my friends drop, man. We saw a lot of death. I saw a lot of people always ask me, yo, Gunz, why do you say winter is your favorite season? Because it sounds weird to people. Like, you like the cold. But growing up in the Bronx in the 70s and the early 80s, when the winter came, it wasn't a lot of death. It wasn't, everybody was in the house. I don't know if hood niggas didn't like the cold or what it was, but the death rate dropped, the crime rate dropped, and you know, it was Christmas, it was Thanksgiving, my birthday, and nobody died. Summertime, as dope as you love the heat was on. You know, I was losing friends every summer, 2-3 friends a summer, man. And then so I grew, for people be like, why you like winter so much? And you know, people, the average person think it's because of the climate. It's not. It was because as growing up as a kid, I watched the crime rate drop in those cold conditions, you know.
You know, that's one of the things I appreciate about you even starting out. And Jim and I was talking about this before is you know, obviously Jim said this at the get, like I'm not an atheist, but one of the things I appreciate the most for me, like I'm very skeptical by nature, you know what I'm saying? Just always been skeptical. And you know, I had a friend growing up, he used to bring me like a little Bible, whatever. 5 minutes in, I could show him a contradiction, you know what I'm saying? From back then. And for me, I really appreciate observing people. I don't really care where, obviously I care, but it doesn't really matter, you know, in conversation where people land, because a lot of my atheist friends, it's because they're observant. You know what I'm saying? It's because they observe how things play out. So I appreciate that quality.
You know what's crazy about atheism, right? I use the word atheist just to shut down the religion talk.
Right, totally.
I don't like being labeled anything, because even when you say you're an atheist, that lumps you in with an organization of people that don't believe, so they get together. The bottom line is, I didn't grow up in the church. My mother wasn't a religious person. She didn't believe. My dad, until he passed away, I didn't even know he believed. We didn't pray at the table. We didn't do nothing. Yeah, we celebrated Thanksgiving and Christmas, and just for the, but it was we grew up in a place where it can't be a God. And then the contradictions of religion, and then with science, I'm a big science guy. People won't believe that. You know, I'm an astrophysicist. I love Lawrence Krauss, Tyson, you know, DeGrasse, he's from the Bronx. I love him. In fact, Tyson fucked me up, man. I reached out to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I told him he was my favorite physicist. He was like, name 3 more, and I couldn't.
He's like,
that nigga was like, so how I'm your favorite out of 1,000 physicists? You can't name.
You don't know no more.
But you say you stole my favorite.
Yeah, he's from the Bronx, and I studied him. But it's more the science disproving religion. Watching the dude from the church around the corner on 174th Street buy crack from my friends and take money from old ladies. The whole Bible is the fact that the Bible comes from slave masters that introduced that to black people. The fact that the Bible and the Quran derive from the Torah, which is from Jewish people, and then all the just myths and the fantasies of Noah and the Ark, of virgin birth and all that. I could not believe that. And then I felt like, but with that being said, without that religion, I know a lot of people that would be on drugs, in jail, or not doing well, but their faith in God got them being on point and right. So I don't ever talk bad. And when somebody say, Gunz, pray with me, I close my eyes, I pray with them. But I respect religion. I respect it. I don't believe in God at all. I don't believe in it. I'm if you want to call it atheist, that's what I am. I'm not an agnostic. You got people, to me, when motherfucker be like, I'm an agnostic, I don't know what's out there. Don't be a pussy. Get off the fence, nigga. Either you believe or you don't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I want to get into that a little bit with you, specifically. Not even. I don't even. Debates are silly for me, but I appreciate when it's like you're observant. So I have a lot of observant things I want to discuss with you later. But that's okay. I love what you said.
No, we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
I have no. This is the deal. I have no wins against faith.
Yeah, I know. I can tell.
It's facts against fiction. You will never, facts against faith. I tell people all the time, you can't win that argument because you argue with somebody that has faith. Well, how do you explain this? And how there's no way I could do it. But all I know is that science has proved that we've been here millions and millions of years before the Bible said we were here.
Yeah,
the Big Bang Theory is a fact. They saying that wasn't, you know what I mean? So there's things like that you know that but if somebody said, well, who created the Big Bang Theory? Had to be a God. So I'll never win against somebody with faith.
We gonna get into it later though.
I'm excited.
Peter made me want to get into it because you could tell. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm observant too, and I'm skeptical. So my faith ain't even based on, like, I always tell people, like, I'm the type of person where it's like, yo, if it's not true, I don't want to believe it. Like, I don't want to believe something that's nonsense. Like, even if it make me feel good, like, I don't actually want to believe that crap. So for me, where I landed faith wise was not based on faith; it was based on actual fact. That's why I want to get it into with you, because it's.
But I will say this,
feel it different
when we do talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I don't ever because you got to understand, I don't believe in none of that shit, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, but I don't ever want to deter nobody because sometimes that turns people off. Like if I'm talking to somebody that I really like,
right, and
they trying to convince me that Trump is not a racist or shit like that, it makes me look at them different. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I got somebody trying to tell me that for instance, a man built an ark and put mad animals and bugs and insects in that shit, it makes me look at you different. Because what's the difference between somebody believing in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy?
Then that's why I want to get into it with you. But I want to delay because Jim gonna be upset. Jim not even gonna be a part of this interview if we jump in. We just gonna talk.
So we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Listen, people already hate me. They're gonna hate me more when they're gonna say, "Oh, that's why he moved like that." You know what's crazy? You gotta be to people, you're a bad person if you don't believe in God. Like to me, I believe that you it's good people and it's bad people. There is no. You don't believe. I do believe you could just be a good person.
Let me tell you.
I believe that you don't have to have a Bible, because people got the Bible and they still getting. They're
still crazy.
Done, still getting their fucking freak on at the strip club, still drinking and smoking.
Y'all done turned this shit in the Sunday school.
Nah, not even. We haven't even said a Sunday thing, but Peter, I'm gonna tell you.
All right, let's go. We get off it. We get on.
We get off it. And the one thing I want to say to you,
but I don't bend. I don't fold.
Yeah. You don't bend. You don't fold. But I want to say this too. I actually think even though we are on opposite sides of the equation with this, Peter, I think it's for the same reasons. I think we have different thoughts and different information that we'll discuss later. But I actually think you're probably an atheist for good reasons. Like, even though I don't agree, I think you're actually probably because because you have morals and because you're observant. Like, you see suffering, you see this, you see different things, you see contradictions.
Common sense.
Yeah. I got some common sense too that
I got some questions for you. I got some questions for you.
Hey, P.S.
Explain all these starving kids in Africa.
we gonna talk.
We got bone marrow cancer, baby.
Yeah, I'm from Haiti. I'm from Haiti, so I feel you. But
I just want to explain all that.
I just want to say this, Pete. I just want to say this and put this on record. The fact that we talking about this is Jim's fault right now.
No, it's not. No, I warned you. I told you.
You said this from the beginning, Jim. You started with the
it's all good.
Go ahead,
Jim. That's my bro. He's real spiritual, so I wanted to give him a heads up.
Man. It's all good. Listen, man, I'm a work in progress.
Me too.
We all are. I'm a big. Let's get into some of my sins.
Yeah, let's do
it.
Right.
So, quick question. What's the most thing you regret in life?
Wow, it's a few things. I don't really have a lot of regrets because I feel like it was written. But when I first got my money from Uptown Baby and things was going good, I went and bought myself a car and got myself an apartment immediately. I should have took care of my dad, and I always regret that. He should have got a car first. He should have got a crib first. He should have got everything. I didn't do enough for, I was too busy trying to get away from the block and, new money, trying to figure it out. Even though it wasn't a whole shitload, it was still enough for me to go and say, here, Dad, you held me down for all these years while I was trying to make it here, and I'll get mine later. I went and got myself right first and then get him right first. That's something that will bother me. And then not just staying with the music like I should have. We should have kept going. Instead, I was like, fuck this shit, the business side, because I love music anyway, naturally. and me and Tariq just walked away from the game. I think those regrets, obvious regrets, not trying to figure out something with somebody, you know, one of the women that had my baby and be in the house growing up with the kids, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but those kind of like real regrets like that, you know, those are life regrets. But one of the things that that bothers me, that haunts me, is I didn't take care of Pops before he, like I should have when I first got in. That's something I got to live with for the rest of my life. It bothers me. And even though, you know, people try to make me feel better about it, I know I was supposed to take care of him first, and I didn't. I took care of me first.
What was your relationship with your father like?
Very good. I had a very good relationship with my dad. You know, he wasn't. Me and my brothers have a different relationship with my father. So I got a new rule with my brothers and anybody else. Don't tell me nothing bad that he did with you or whatever. Let me keep him in the mind I got for me. You know what I mean? And I was the last boy. So maybe he learned his lesson and said, hey, I got to do better by now. You know, I'm going to do better by this one, or I'm going to be, whatever it was, he was good to me, and I don't like to hear nothing bad about him. But I had a very good relationship with him. I'm a lot like my pops. Not that that's something to be proud of, but on some terms, my pops, he ain't take no shit. You know what I mean? He was a man, and he just, you know, he had his thing. He loved women, man, and that was that was the Achilles heel for my father. And you know, before my father passed away, he told me a woman was going to be the death of me if I didn't chill out. She was going to stab me. Her man was going to do something to me. I was going to catch something. He was like, I'm begging you. I'm not going to be here much longer, man. Slow down with the women. That was his last words. For real, that's a true story.
That's rough. That's going to be rough.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a definite accept. Go ahead, what you were saying?
No, I was gonna say, man, what would you say is like your superpower? You know what I'm saying? Like if we were in a comic book right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you say is the thing that you're extremely special at, that you know is like an area where you super gifted?
You know what's crazy? This is gonna sound crazy, man. Not giving a fuck. I always feel like I'm the shit, even when people think I'm garbage, trash, dog, dirty, fucking, he's disgusting. Nobody could never convince me that I'm not the shit. Any condition that you put me in, like you said, if you took me and said, Gunz, you got to live in Haiti and you got to go on this mission and you got to take care of these kids and you're going to be here for 2 months, I'm ready. There's no condition that I've been in, broke, poor, that I ever folded and tucked in and just like, damn, I feel like just killing myself and giving up or whatever. I think my not giving a fuck, whatever that DNA is in people, that they worry about what people say about them, and they worry about their condition that they in. And I didn't get that because I don't give, my man, you know, and it may not seem like a superpower to people until you in a
that's a superpower.
That's a super duper.
That's a superpower.
My man, me going, I don't give a fuck, has helped me to be at 51 years old. I still get up and run 2 miles a day. I still smoke cigars. I drink. I don't let nothing bother me, man, too long. And I think, to me, stress is the #1 killer. And people be like, yo, how could you smile right now? It's been times where I know I was gonna pay my rent. I'm 3 months behind in rent. I don't know where I don't know. The music is down. People talking shit about me on the internet. And niggas be like, yo, I saw the nigga in Corner Social chilling. I went on dates with $5 in my pocket and be like, yo, love, you ain't gonna believe this. I left my goddamn credit card home. After we didn't just splurge, we went everywhere. Oh, don't worry about it. I got it. Because she assumed this is Peter Gunz. He got it. He must have really just left his credit card home.
Right.
I've done crazy shit, but what I never did was ever go let anything get me down. I still kept the same energy, which is, you know, a superpower to me. To some people, like,
that's definitely a superpower.
He should have cared a little more. Maybe he would have moved a little different. I don't know. But I think I watched my mother just stress everything, man. And just watch her be sad all the time and depressed. And just, so I saw that shit and I was like, I ain't never gonna be that. I'm gonna fuck that. I'm gonna find something to smile about and keep it pushing.
Yeah, that's a huge superpower. Like that's like
definitely a superpower. Oh, what's your favorite city to visit?
It was New Orleans, man. You know, I love New Orleans.
Shout out New Orleans.
Miami.
Mm.
Yeah, Miami.
Miami's dope.
I love Dallas now, but I gotta give it to Miami. Miami got a feeling of like it has the temperature of an island, but you're not on an island. Something about, I don't know, man. You know, Miami. I couldn't live there, but the visit is nice. I love visiting Miami.
It's like being in Haiti, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and
Right.
Puerto Rico at the same time.
It's dope. If you could open up a business, what's the first thing you open up?
I want to open up a bouncy place called Bounce on the Fourth, with trampolines, a DJ, kids coming there, have parties and all that stuff, called Bounce on the Fourth. My second spot would be Cop and Go. I was trying to do Cop and Go forever, like a little fish and chips, get your shit, get the fuck out of here. So before quarantine, I was trying to quarantine.
Get your shit, get the fuck out
Yo,
of here.
you ever think about I've been to one of those adult, it was a birthday thing. Somebody took people to an adult trampoline spot. Because what you said about the DJ thing is ill. Like I never even been to a trampoline spot with a DJ.
At night we're turning into adults, but the lights go off, the neon,
and there's a DJ and you bouncing. That's dope.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Anything where you can have adults at night, but in the daytime. Listen, man, what sparked me with that is I went to one in New Orleans, and I realized that I had to pay for me to go, even if I wasn't jumping, plus buy socks for the kids, plus snacks and pizza and all that shit. I was like, ooh, anything you open up with kids, then never mind the birthday parties and shit they're gonna book. So my Bounce on the Fourth, I want to put it on the Fourth somewhere. I was hoping one of them big ass places to go out of business so we could figure it out. But I know my Bounce on the Fourth, I want to do that so badly, man. I worry about niggas fucking it up because that's what they do. And everybody tell me, don't do nothing in your hood. But I wanted to show people that we could do something in the hood and it could work. You know what I mean? I think we could pull it off. But of course, I do have my reservations about that shit.
Right. Who was your most influential mentor?
Person I know or just
person you know. So somebody that like really guided you.
So many people, man. A lot of people around me. So many of my my friends around me, man. You know, one of my good friends younger than me, man. My man Trip. Trip used to hit me.
Triple X in Minnesota got cats.
Triple X, yeah. Trip, Trip and his mom's was his family is Muslim. His mother was she worked for the Nation of Islam for years. She was I want to say secretary for Elijah Muhammad. So they introduced me to the Nation of Islam in 94, 95, and I helped with the Million Man March. We went to the Million Man March. And it sparked my different thinking, which introduced me to Minister Farrakhan, who I met and hung out with a couple times via chat, and his son Mustafa. And I fell in love with Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan has been the biggest probably inspiration to me in that world. And then musically, it would be, man, name it, man. Prince, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, the Cold Crush. There's so many rappers that I could name. KRS One, that, but as far as personal, again, it would be friends. My man Ski was in my corner, but like guiding me mentally, it would be family. My brothers, my older brothers, my man Ski, Trip, those are people like that. Scratch, those. I didn't have like one person I could point a finger at and be like, yo, this man right here is a man that, boom. You know what I mean? I was that to a lot of people.
Definitely that to me. Hell yeah.
Thanks, Neff. Yeah, I moved a different way because even with learning from the people that was teaching me, they was still looking at me like a lot of people was living vicariously through me. I'm not trying to say I'm this or I'm that. It could be looked at as a bad thing. But again, I moved it like I didn't give a fuck. They were looking at me like, yo, did this nigga just really just, so I was one of a kind. I'm one of a kind, man. Even my older brothers be like, yo, you a sick dude, man. But it was just it was just me being me, man. It's hard to explain, right or wrong. I refuse to be down. And my Achilles heel, of course, is women. I'm only one that say that shit loud. A lot of men have that problem. I'm just the one on TV or the one that'll tell you to your face that, yeah, man, I can't help it. I love women.
Yeah, you had some.
That's great. In your single days on the road, or days when you didn't have nobody, what's the most amount of women you had sex with in one day?
Man, maybe 5 or 6.
How many raw?
Probably, I don't know. I don't remember, man, but I definitely it was a time where I was reckless raw, but I think in the music.
Jim losing it.
There was in those days I was nervous about a chick trying to trap me off and have a baby.
Right.
I didn't strap up for my health. I strapped up for that. I didn't want to be bothered with shit. So I hate condoms, man. Still do. But I'll tell you this right here. In Miami, I had my ass, balls, and dick licked simultaneously at the same time. I'll never forget that.
I think you killed Jim. I think it's just me and you, man, Jim.
No, I'm serious.
Jim.
It's a true story.
Oh,
I would shout out the chick for her baby father. Me and her baby father just started speaking behind that shit. The one that was licking my balls.
Oh my God.
Yo, let me ask you this. You made me think about so I told you I did martial arts for a long time, and I remember my teacher, we had this it's like a kung fu movie. We had this discipleship ceremony where we sit down and we're talking about becoming kung fu masters, right? And he said becoming a kung fu master, he's like, it's about mastering yourself. You know what I'm saying? And he said there's 3 gates that are pitfalls to mastering yourself. He said women, he said money, and power. Because he said you can either master yourself or those things can master you.
Facts. Mine been women, man.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with money because I've had money. Money went. I'm broke. I've been broke and I've been up all my life. You never know.
Yeah.
More broke. More on the broke side. Money was never an issue with me. I never gave a fuck, man. You know me. I'd buy me a keyboard, a guitar, instrument, or something like that. That's where I would splurge my money. I was never do with clothes and buying a bunch of clothes or jewelry. It was never my style. Women, my nigga. I tried to test myself. So what I do, hold on, my bad. Somebody was calling me. They fucked me up. So sometimes I challenge myself with drinking. I might say I'm not going to drink for a month. And I won't drink for a month. I ain't smoking cigars for a month. You know what? I ain't fucking with no chicks for a month. No sex, no nothing. I might last a day, if that. 2 days.
Yo, so would you call?
I say women is my Achilles heel, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just arguing with somebody about ass licking. They're like, yo, that's gay. I'm like, nah, that's fire. You got to grow up.
Well,
man.
Depends on how you get it. If you toot up and park your ass and lay on the pillow.
No, you can't toot the ass up. You just got to lay there.
If you put your legs up behind your neck, my nigga, we got issues. I got a better one. If you request it, I got questions.
No, she got to be licking your balls and the gooch and then just go right around there. But she can't go in the ass. She got to go around the ass.
But I think if you go, yo, love, I need to see you tonight. I need you to lick my ass.
No, you can't say.
You gay, man. It's not a thing that I need. You know what I mean? It happened. I thought, listen, after the whole with the 3 girls and one was doing that was it. I thought I was good.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo, this is weird, but hey, wait, you know.
He said, wait. He said, wait.
And then one chick was like, yo, she went to the gooch thing, went down and was like, yo, be a man, be mature. Let me just chill. Because I was like, you know us, automatically, no ass activity. But it's not something that I need. You know what I mean?
I get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of it.
I'm a petty motherfucker. I used to do it if I ever got into an argument, bitch.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to have this conversation? You didn't lick my ass licking, bitch. You nasty bitch. You licked my ass after I took a big old country shit. Get the fuck out of my face. I was petty.
I'm like, they gonna make memes of Jim.
I used to use it to be petty. I never did it like at the time, and then I got mature. As I got older, I was like, okay, all right. But it's not something that I request or need. But the Miami joint, shout out to the Loop dancers. They know who they was.
Jim is out right now. Let me ask you this, Pete. Like, what
shit.
What is the most what's the part of you that you wish that you could? Let me put it this way. What do you think the future you? This is a weird question, but go with me. What do you think the future you? My bad. What would you want in your tombstone? That's what I was going. What would you want in your tombstone? Like, we all got to pass away at some point. So what would you want to see? What would you want people to write on your tombstone when you're no longer with us? God forbid.
Here lies a bad motherfucker from the Bronx.
You came into the podcast looking like it.
That's what I want. Here lies a bad motherfucker from the Bronx. I already got that written down for them to put that on there. They said that cemeteries won't let you put the curse word on there. So I don't know, but that's my request.
Oh man,
Jim, what would you want, Jim?
I don't know. I got to think about that, man. I hate thinking about death, shit like that. I don't know.
Well, death is harder for me because I'm an atheist. You believe you're gonna see people again, right? To me, death is final. So I take death extremely hard, and that's why I tell you I like winter so much, because I saw a lot of death in the summer. So death is final for me. So people always say Peter don't go in funeral homes. He won't go see the dead. You don't like the. It's because it's final to me, man. And I don't want to see that. I don't want my last memory of you to be the person I see in the casket.
The wild thing with that, Peter, and we can get more philosophical, but this is just a thought that I always have, is in the past few years, we lost a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? My wife's mom has some mental illness stuff, severely abused, suicide, and we lost one of our kids, and crazy stuff. Like you said, man, like one of the most obvious, and I'll say this, truest parts, if you want to pick out a part that's easy to say that is true, for example, about the Bible, is that this is a fallen world. Like, I could look around and be like, yo, I don't care what you believe about whatever, but you can't tell me there's not a problem with this world. Like, this world has issues. You just turn on the TV and it's like, and even the concept of sin, even when I didn't believe it, I was like, you ain't got to tell me. I don't even need to know God to know that we're sinful. Like, why are we always killing each other? Why am I self-destructive? Like, we some weird beings. Like we're so intelligent, but we're stupid enough to continue to take a substance that we know is killing us because it feels good. That's a
fact. In the institutions that you believe would be closer to God turn out to be molesting kids, stealing money from old ladies, blowing up shit. So it's almost like the institutions that you would trust to be like, well, this person has a real close relationship with God. Even those people disappoint you. So until one of my friends, my pops or somebody come back and say, yo, man, don't worry about it. When you leave here, it's beautiful.
Right, it's beautiful. Right.
Never happened, man.
And you know what's beautiful?
I don't want, and people be like, oh, I dreamed my mom came back to me. That's beautiful.
So you don't want to dream, you want the actual thing.
That's what it's gonna take.
That's what
it's gonna take a physical. It's gonna take something physical to come back for me I gotta see something physical for it to exist. I don't want to hear explain this ocean and explain these trees, because scientifically a lot of things could be explained, but I don't want to have that argument. I want God said he's coming back.
Right.
Come back.
Right.
And if he's as forgiving as you say he is, he should forgive me for not believing, because I'm seeing kids die of bone marrow cancer, AIDS, people in Haiti starving, people in third world countries fucked up, and other people living the evil people living great. So until he explain why that's like that, and explain that shit to me thoroughly and where I can understand it, which I doubt I would ever understand slavery or anything.
Right.
I can't believe it, man.
Yeah, and this is the thing. One of the things for me, not even talking about that, but to address what you're saying, one of the thoughts I'll be thinking about this stuff a lot, Peter. One of the thoughts I had, which is like a wild thought, just being skeptical, and I just think a lot like you, is like I was like, one of the wild things, like I was saying, like I could tell there's something wrong. There's something wrong with this world. You turn on the TV, like we got issues and we got issues with each other. Like something's terribly wrong. But one of the things that's wild is like I think about this concept. Go with me here is like the way. Let's say you're in a room where it's well two things. One thing I'm gonna say real quick to just what you said. Like you said, people said trees and water and all that. The only reason I appreciate that, the only reason I don't kill that, the only reason I appreciate that for a second is because as an artist and as a person who loves science, right? Me too. I'm an artist and I'm a person who loves science. I sit back and I say, I feel like the better question for me is not so much whether there is a God. The better question for me is more so like, yo, if there is a God, it will always be like, I don't know if he's good because there's a bunch of evil around me. Because when I look around, I'm like,
I'll take that.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I look around and I can see like, yo, there's trees, there's black people, white people, like whatever designed this thing.
I'll take that all day.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Because people have a chance. It's funny you said that. People have a, not to cut you off, my brother. I'm bad with that. People have a habit of giving God all the glory. But when it's bad shit, they throw it on Satan when God's supposed to be stronger than Satan.
Stronger, exactly.
So God don't get no credit for none of the fucked up shit, but he's so powerful.
Yeah, and that's
you learn on your own. But listen, again, this conversation will turn people even more on me because it's rough.
Nah, we're not gonna let them.
Tell you this. It's our people, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, over in Europe and all of that, and a lot of people are waking up. A lot more people are going like questioning that shit.
Right.
Look at the numbers, but our people are so judgmental and so religious.
Right.
So even the church is so many gay people in the church. Right. And they don't even know that in the Bible be shooting them down. Like you're not supposed to be.
Right.
You're not. And according to that Bible, you're not supposed to be like they not human.
Yeah.
Like that's unnatural. And I'm gonna tell you, it's unnatural. People be like, yo, it's unnatural for gay people because they ain't no man and no man supposed to be together. They can't procreate and all this and that. It's not unnatural if your God made them, and your God made several mammals that's fucking sheep.
Yeah, well, that's
with each other. Like, so your God made them. So how you gonna knock them like that? You know what I mean? How come they can't believe in your God and go to your church?
Yeah, and that's the thing. One thing I want to say to that, Pete, and we don't have to stay on this, but I just want to share this because of what you said is, like you said, like that's what I wanted to point out. Like I could tell as an artist and scientist, is like there's design out here and it's really well done. Like if somebody threw a bunch of pieces of metal in the desert and came back a billion years later and it was a computer and it was like Wi-Fi and somebody said, yeah, it just came together. I'd be like, man, shut up, bro. Like, I'm not stupid. Somebody had to put this together. So for me, the better question is like, all right, cool. Somebody made, okay, cool. But I don't trust that this person is good. But this is the thing. This is the thought. I'll just leave it here. This is an interesting thought for me. Not even to convince you, just an interesting thought. Because I thought about this is like, when I think about, let's say you're in a warm country, right? Like everything's warm around you, or you just near a fire. Let's say you spend all your time near a fire. The way that you know that the fire is hot, if you always been around it, one of the ways you know is the further you get away from the fire, the colder it gets, right? Because if you don't have a frame of reference, it's like, yo, if I'm here, I'm warm. If I get further, that confirms that fire is here. And this is one of the parts. There's so much, and we ain't gonna cover it all here. You know, I hope one day we could just hang and talk. But this is one of the thoughts. This is one of the thoughts that's interesting to me. Is like in the biblical narrative, because you talking to somebody who used to show people a contradiction in 5 minutes in the Bible, so you ain't got to tell me it's crazy.
I know, yeah.
And I used to, and one of the biggest reasons I was like, nah, it's because I saw all the hypocrisy and all the craziness. One of the things that I saw also in the Bible is like it talks about false teachers and prophets. So I'm not surprised now. It's like there's a bunch of lies everywhere. But this is the thought. I don't want to get off. This is the thought that's kind of interesting to me that always gets lost in the biblical narrative. And you got a bunch of people don't know what they're talking about, just say they believe because they heard something. But this is the interesting part is like the biblical narrative actually makes more sense than what people say, even though we're not going to cover it all right now. This is the biblical narrative, that there's supposed to be a designing God. Our parents have us, but a God who loves us and designed us. So the thought is there's a God who loves Peter Gunz. No matter what, he designed you, he drew you, right?
Right.
And I tell people this is like, if I drew a drawing right now, right? And God didn't say, but if I drew a drawing right now, if the drawing came to life and spat at me, just me, I might not be a good dude. I would rip the drawing away right away. One of the questions I have, if God's really there, I'm like, yo, we so evil. you should just destroy us all. If you good, you should just destroy everything right now. You should just destroy it because we crazy, man. Like we kill ourselves, kills each other.
So you would have to believe that there's someone in the air watching all billions of people at all times.
Right.
But this is what I say. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let you go.
This is interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Thousands of years ago.
Yes, sir.
I forgive the people that wrote this stuff. They had no idea, man. There was no science, no computers, no nothing. They had to look up and be like, what the fuck? So they didn't even know the fucking earth was orbiting the sun. They had no idea. So all they could do was use their fucking imagination of what it could be or what happened and start putting, and these stories have been passed down to this, to that. And then you got somebody that wrote it, changed it into thousands of different languages. Then they said, you know what, we're not going off the Torah. We got our own way. Create the Bible. Then you got the Quran. But that doesn't even explain the Chinese people that believe in the sea dragon, or the Greeks that believe in Thor and Zeus and the water and the light. So it's thousands and hundreds of gods that I'm believing.
And this is the thing, Pete. It's so crazy because I love this I literally, Jim, you got to organize it. I want to sit with Uncle Pete. I'm gonna call him my uncle.
Let's do it, man.
I love you, man. But I want to say one thing.
I respect whatever you and anybody believe. Yeah. I love you.
Bro,
we could always have a come pray for me.
Yeah, and I want to say this. I want to say this. I want to say this real talk. I want to say this. Anybody who is so judgmental to come down to a conclusion that a person is a bad person because of what they believe is crazy. Like you whack. If you're gonna watch the show and
I get killed for this. I get killed for being an atheist, but I don't hide it no more. I used to be like, let me not say it, because like religion and politics could kill your money too. Yeah, so I just don't I don't have the conversation anymore.
But I appreciate you. I appreciate you talking a little bit. I just want to wrap up that one little thought. Like just the design element. So now it's like, all right, it's got good or bad. And this is the thing, man, is like, I think about love, the concept of love a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like you talked about your dad. I could tell you love your pops. And the concept of love is a powerful one. And there's so many types of love, right? There's lust, there's there's all that. You really know you love somebody based on, I personally think the highest love is a love of like when you're willing to sacrifice something for somebody, it shows that you love them. Like I'm willing to take a hit for you. And this is the interesting part is when you look at the biblical narrative, I also think, but besides that, I also think that choice, like if you love Korah, right? There's things that he does, you might be like, yo, I don't want you to do that, but you won't force him because you respect his autonomy. You know what I'm saying? Like part of you loving him is you being like, yo, I told you not to do this. You're a grown man, like you're gonna take your own choice. I'm gonna respect that. And,
of course, yeah.
And this is the thought. My mom asked me one time, because she knew I was always skeptical, right? And she asked me one time, man, the Garden of Eden make no sense. Like, why would God say, here's a tree, don't eat it or whatever, right? And this is the thought that came to mind. It's crazy. I was just sitting there praying one day, whatever. This is a thought that came to mind, and it was mind blowing. But I won't bore you with it. Maybe another time. But this is the thought that came to mind. Is like. The narrative is supposed to be like, forget whether you believe it or not. At least this makes more sense, right? The narrative is supposed to be this God who designed everything actually designed everything good. He's a good God designed everything good. Everything was straight. No dying, no killing, no nothing. It was good. But then God was like, hey, this is the thought that came to mind. It was like, in order to have a loving relationship, there needs to be choice. Like if I gave you a robot for a son and he was like, I love you, you'd be like, I don't feel anything, right? There needs to be choice. And we think it's created, but if I'm God and I'm creating, in order to create choice, if I'm the only option, and this is not going to explain everything. It was just an interesting thought. If I'm the only option, I got to give you at least one option to turn away from me. I got to give you one option for you to be like, nah, I don't want you. Because then when you do say I love you, it means that you want him because you got an option not to. So it's like, you've got to be at least one option. This is the crazy thing. The narrative goes, he designed everything. He's like, all right, y'all, humans, boom, 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 in my image. He's like, yo, y'all could rock with me or y'all could do your own thing. But if you do I'm good. I love you. If y'all do your own thing, I'm just letting y'all know it's not going to be good. And the thought to me that's mind blowing, whether you believe this or not, is this. I actually think in a lot of ways, if you look at the biblical narratives, suffering actually this sounds crazy, bro, but suffering actually, to me, proves God's goodness more than it takes away, because the narrative is, it's warm right here. if you go further away, you're gonna be cold. And so if you go further away and you cold, it means that was warm. And so you got all types of religion. Just because you stand in a garage don't make you a car. Just because you stand in a church don't make you nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you could say whatever you want. That don't make you nothing. There's genuine people or not. But this is the mind-blowing part for me is like, yo, if God is really good and he designed things good, and if our ancestors actually really did, yeah, you know what? We forget this. We're gonna do our own thing. The fact that the world is so jacked up right now actually proves, oh snap, that means that whatever God wanted was actually probably good. So when I look around, it's like, this is not, people forget, like the Bible doesn't say this world is how God wanted it. It actually says the opposite. The Bible is like, yo, y'all sinful, everybody's sinful. And it says the world is fallen. So when you look at animals acting crazy and eating each other, it even says that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the way it's supposed to be. And so that's the only thing I always say is like, you got so many.
True. But listen, it also says
y'all confusing the shit out of me.
Let me put this in layman terms. So if you do bad, you go to hell, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to hell, there's Satan, and he's down there. You suffer and you burn, and right.
But where Satan? This is a misconception. You know that people think Satan rules in hell. The Bible actually says he's going to hell. He's not in hell. It says he's on earth.
But when I tell people, "Oh, you going to burn? You going to hell? You going to?" But I always say, "Why would he punish me when I'm his man? I'm doing everything. I'm robbing, stealing. He gonna reward me." Yo, Gunz, here's some bitches and some weed. Knock yourself
you're right.
out.
Yo, but that's a good point, bro. I keep on saying, but this I feel like I'm talking to Corey. This is the crazy thing. This is the biggest misconception, and you're right. There's so many misconceptions, and I want to link with you because there's some really.
We got a link, man.
Yeah, there's some really
I'll tell
dope.
You what,
there's some really dope.
Let's talk about this because we fucking people of this religion. Yeah. But I'll tell you this. Last night we did a toast, and I was around some friends, and they did this whole pray for Peter, whatever, and they toasted. And I told the chick that did the whole prayer for me, I had a toast too. She said, "What's your toast?" I said, "If at first you don't succeed, suck and suck it."
Yeah, you still. I knew you was gonna do that. Hey, I'm gonna turn it to Jim, but I'm gonna wrap it up with this one thought because there's so many misconceptions. It's stupid. There's so many misconceptions. Like the biblical narrative, people think it's like, oh, Satan's in hell running it. He's the one punishing. The scripture says actually, Satan was actually designed for hell was actually designed for Satan and his angels. So he's not ruling it. He's not part of it. He's not giving the punishment. He's getting the worst punishment. So all I want to say is a bunch of people got their Bibles all messed up. I know because I had it because I was so skeptical.
Bible was right. And
not that because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's not that. You know, Pete, you know this just as well as I do. There's a lot of people.
One God from being an atheist.
No. It's like no. A lot of people. You know, a lot of people don't do their research about anything. So they just believe what they're told. So what I respect about Pete is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's because you're observant. You do research. There's a lot of people in church, which is really sad to me, which is like, they're not doing their research. There's a lot of amazing scientists that fall on all sides for a bunch of reasons. That's why I'm like, we got a link. But this is the one thing I want to say is this, the mind-blowing thing is just this. I want to clarify this, if you would allow me. May I clarify one thing? 30 seconds?
Go ahead.
One thing I want to clarify, people that
y'all niggas in church.
Man, we just talking. Church won't allow people. Yeah, you heard Peter. Church don't allow Peter to do this. Peter saying regular people don't even allow Peter to do this.
I need a bottle of Hennessy, man. Y'all niggas.
Yo, I just want to wrap
it. Stop sending.
Yeah, I want to leave it with this, Pete. One of the things that was the most impactful for me is this that I love. Because, you know, like I said, Muslim friends, Hindu friends, everybody. And I'm just looking for, man, y'all not consistent. We need consistency. The thing that I found actually consistent, man, is this one scripture. This one scripture that was mind blowing to me was Romans 6:23. It said the wages of sin is death. And another one was like, all have sinned. So the bottom line is that a lot of religious people look down on people because you're not doing the right thing. But the Bible's telling you, yo, you believe you got the one path that's telling you nobody's doing the right thing. Everybody's falling. Like so you mean to tell me I got a 20 on my test, so I got an F. You got a 59 on your test and you got an F, and you looking at me like crazy and you're like, yo, you got an F too. Like, you know, we all got Fs. And the scripture's saying, like, because of our F, we deserve separation from God in that spiritual metaphor of death and hell. And to me, this is the mind-blowing part. The concept that there's a God anywhere who wouldn't just say, oh, you sinned, you're going to hell. But the concept of God is saying, yo, I'm righteous. I can't let your sin go. But I love you. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be honest with you. You deserve this punishment, but I love you so much. I'm going to come down and pay for that joint for you. And I tell people, regardless of what you believe, if there's really good news that says, yo, God knows you jacked up. He's willing to not just say, I forgive you, but he's willing to take the bullet for you, take your punishment. And he's willing to give you a gift of forgiveness and eternal life. I tell people, all right, you might not believe that, but we can agree that's the best news you ever heard. The gospel means good news. That's the best news I ever heard. It's like
But how is good news if you don't believe it?
This is the thing. Well, this is the thing, right? I tell people this.
Yeah,
I can tell you this. I'm not saying whether it's true or not for this moment, right? I believe it's true. My life's been changed by it. But what I can tell you is this, is that the concept of it being good news, if it was good news, if it was true, it would be the greatest news, right? But all I'm saying is this, all I'm saying is this, is like, if there's an offer out there that's that way, man, a lot of people all around me had it totally misconceived, couldn't answer the questions at all thoughtfully. I'm okay with not understanding everything about God because I don't understand everything about astrophysics. I don't expect to understand everything about the designer of astrophysics, but I need it to be consistent and I need it to make sense. Otherwise, you lost me. I'm gone. So that's why I'm like, I want to.
But hold on, but you would understand that there's somebody in the air you never met looking down over you. But
let me ask.
Would just go on that.
No, I would not. I would not. That's why I said we got to link.
That's what you just said.
No, I would not. I would not. I would go on a whole lot more.
You believe in eternal life?
Yeah, but you know what I also believe
in? We ain't
we ain't on the same page. But I want to chill with you because you know what? You know what I do believe in? You know what I do believe in? I believe in a planet that's somewhere in the universe, circling around by itself with no power button and a ball of fire not too far from it, keeping things alive. And if that ball of fire goes further away, we all die. If it comes closer, it all burns. Reality is a fairy tale.
Could that? Let me ask you something. So that thing that's keeping this earth alive, could that be the thing that people were looking up, praying to all of this time? That sun?
Yeah.
Could that be it? Could that have been it?
Yeah, I'm not even arguing that. All I'm saying is
that.
Yeah, all I'm saying. Yeah,
people moving to a God. People could have been praying to the sun.
Yeah, that's why because we gonna be here forever, so I don't want to argue that. But what I do,
I know y'all been talking about Jesus and God for 37 minutes, man.
But
I don't talk about Jesus.
We just talking.
I said I wanted to talk about bitches, Hennessy, abortions, shooting.
Oh, I see what.
Take it away. Take it away. You know,
cheating.
Yo, Peter, this is the dope thing about this show.
Y'all two niggas is opposite, man.
Yeah, yo, Peter, the dope thing about this show is that's why it's called Rare Nomads, and we travel. We said at the beginning, we travel to the most interesting part, to the people come on here because this is the only show you're gonna get where you're gonna get Jim talking about the crazy stuff, and I'm gonna talk about the spiritual stuff and intellectual stuff. I love Jim. I love Jim. Jim's my brother.
I'm on both sides, man. I'm on both sides.
So we here.
Hey, take it away, Jim. Hey, what's the most abortions you had, man?
Oh, man. I don't know, man. I know I paid for a few that really wasn't real. They just stuck me up for my money. But I wasn't trying to find out. I gave that right up. I bought a couple Louis bags or something. I know that much.
You pay for an abortion. You don't even know if it's yours or not.
Yours? I don't even know if it's a baby there. I just hear it. I'm good for a couple of those. I'm not proud of it though.
So look, wrapping up, right? What's the one thing right now that'll make you just happy, eternally happy? What can happen in your life right now where you feel like I needed this, man? This is it.
Man, everybody else being content. My kids being content, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. If everybody else would just be good. If I don't get phone calls from people saying, yo, man, they're sounding depressed. Because if one of your kids is not right or your family members is not right, then you're not right. I'm always cool. So I wish, the people around me, health and happiness and wealth or money, whatever makes them happy, I'm good. You know what I mean? So I don't wish for nothing, man. And all the other stuff that would come with it, like, I don't need a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a regular dude. Give me a couple instruments, a studio,
You're not regular.
A car. I'm good.
You're definitely not regular. But Peter definitely just said he wants heaven. That's what Peter just said.
He ain't say that shit.
He said everybody want to be good. Everybody be good. Everybody.
He ain't say that.
There's only one place for that, Jim.
I had heaven. I fucked heaven like 3 years ago. She was bad. Strip out of Miami. I did.
You did.
I took her screws and unloosened them. And I went raw.
I
might have a baby in heaven.
Oh, you crazy.
Philippe asked me if I had a daughter, man. I told him, yeah, he don't believe me.
Yeah, he had a daughter.
Wow.
Beautiful too, man. My niece, she's beautiful. I want to see her, man. She used to reach out to me. She ain't reach out to me in a minute. I gotta see her, man.
Oh, yeah. She I was just on the phone with her a little while ago, man.
Beautiful, man. I want
you on the phone with her?
I was a little earlier.
Around, man.
Jim, you got okay.
I'll show it to you, Philippe.
We have a very, 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 very large family, man.
Yeah.
We don't spend enough time together, but when we get together, it's all love. Like I watch a lot of families get together and feud and argue. We have a ball when we get together, man.
And you make it larger, right?
Well, yeah, I think I hold a record in the family for.
Yeah.
You got it, 100%.
Hey, real talk though. I'm gonna be real upset. I might bring out some machetes and swords if Jim don't let us hang out.
We definitely gonna hang out, man.
I'm not hanging out.
I love this conversation, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
man.
me too.
It's funny that we had this conversation because I'm listening to an audio book by Richard Dawkins.
Listen, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for tapping in. Pause.
Yeah,
thank you.
Appreciate y'all, man. This is dope, man.
Yeah, we gonna keep it going, man. I appreciate you. When you going back to NY soon?
Yeah, I'll be in New York on next Friday.
Okay. What should people be looking out for? I know you working on a bunch of different things.
Cheaters, man. I'm Cheaters, the TV show Cheaters. I'm out here. So check your local listeners. It's on some stations. It'll be on VH1 and MTV real soon. But it's on some stations out here already. Like they're showing some of the, on PIX and CW is showing it already.
Yo, you gonna let Jim and I come on an episode with you and interview one of them cheaters?
Man. Come to Dallas. Come on, get involved, man. Come to Dallas with me.
We gotta come. Rare Nomads on Cheaters, man.
Rare Nomads on Cheaters.
Yo, it's gonna be the craziest joint because Jim might encourage him. I might sit there like, yo, you might want. Yo, hey,
it's insane. Wait till y'all see some of these episodes.
Hey, I'm gonna end this real crazy, Pete. After everything we talked about. You can end it for me afterwards, but I want to say a little prayer for you and your kids and your family. You might not believe in it, but I would love to do that. Man. Yeah, let me do it.
Let's do it.
Let me do it. Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this conversation. I thank you for Peter and just the mind that he has, Lord, just an intelligent man who wants well-being for so many. Lord, I thank you for that superpower, just being able to be self-confident and not worry about what people say. Lord, I know you've impacted my life like crazy, a skeptical person. So I just pray for him, for his family, for protection, for blessings. Lord, that you give him wisdom and guidance, and you draw them close to you, Lord. And I love Core. So Lord, we lift up Core and his career and his life. Would you protect him and draw him close and just pray for all that. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, love y'all, man. Love y'all.
Love you, brother.
Love you all. I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
Be safe. Yes.
All right.
Check out this clip from episode 3 of the Rare Nomads podcast featuring Shawnee O'Neal.
My biggest regret is probably not going into this business of TV with a little more knowledge of how to control the narrative. To date, that's my biggest regret. I wish that I knew how to control the complete narrative more than just my own, because I can do mine, but I can't do the whole show and help these ladies not get exposed the way they get exposed.
Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of Rare Nomads. Please make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. It's Rare Nomads with a K. Make sure you visit our website for exclusive fashion. And to see the video version of this episode, make sure you go to YouTube and type Rare Nomads.